Have you ever been in a church service and just felt like there's a disconnect between what's happening in that building and your actual everyday life? Well, today we're going to unpack a really powerful idea. What if true faith isn't about religion at all? What if it's all about a lifestyle? This quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? I mean, we are surrounded by religious activities, but that deep, life-changing connection, it can feel like it's missing. We've gotten really good at going to church, but the real question is, do we know how to be the church? Just think about that for a second. The power of that one word, disciples. Jesus was super specific. In fact, the most religious people of his time, the Pharisees, were usually the ones he challenged the most. He wasn't trying to start a new religion. He was calling people into a totally new way of living, as learners, as followers, as apprentices. So, let's break this down. What does this performance-based religion actually look like? And more importantly, why does it so often feel like it misses the mark? Well, for one, religion can become really predictable, right? Just a comfort of routine and ritual. You can sing every song, you can raise your hands, you can know all the right things to do, and still feel a million miles away from God. And that's really the core of it. It can become all about performing acts of devotion without a real, genuine life of connection. And this is so crucial to get. Jesus wasn't building another system of rules and rituals to follow. He was introducing a dynamic, living, breathing kingdom lifestyle. A way of life where every ordinary moment, every little choice you make, becomes an opportunity for a real connection with God. So this really brings us to the heart of the matter. We're looking at two completely different paths here, the path of religion versus the path of discipleship. Think about this difference. Religion often kind of puts God in a Sunday morning box, It's an appointment we keep. But discipleship, that's a constant conversation. It's an awareness that God is with you everywhere, in the car, at work, at the dinner table. It's a non-stop walk. Oh, it is so easy to talk a good game, isn't it? To discuss theology, quote some verses, debate all the deep ideas. But discipleship, that's where the rubber meets the road. It takes that truth off the page and puts it into practice in your life. It's not about what you can say, it's about who you actually are. And what about our motivation? So much of religion is driven by guilt and fear, right? That feeling that you have to perform to be worthy. But discipleship works from a totally different place. It comes from a place of grace. It's not about trying to earn God's love. It's about responding to the love you've already been given freely. And here's the kicker. So many people say, oh, I believe, but it's just a mental thing, an intellectual agreement. Discipleship moves from just believing to actively obeying. It's about saying, I obey. It understands that true belief isn't proven by our words, but by our actions. Faith is a verb. So if we boil it all down, it's this. Religion is an event you go to. Discipleship is a lifestyle you live. One might fill up your seat for an hour on Sunday, but the other has the power to totally transform every single hour of your life, and through you to transform the world. Okay, so if discipleship is a lifestyle, what does that actually look like on a Monday morning? What's the engine that really drives this whole thing? A disciple is spiritually aware. What does that even mean? Well, it means they don't just read the Bible like it's any other book. They're listening for the voice of the author speaking through it. They don't just pray when there's a crisis. They live in this constant running conversation with God. And their obedience isn't for show. It's about what you do when no one else is looking. That's the real test. And look, this isn't just a nice, fluffy idea. It's a practical guide from Scripture. Being led by the Spirit simply means that every decision, what you say, where you go, how you react, becomes an opportunity to follow God's lead. This is discipleship in action. Now, if you've ever felt that disconnect we talked about, if you ever thought to yourself, I'm not religious, but I really love Jesus, then you are way closer to the heart of this whole thing than you might even realize. Let's look at the invitation that's on the table. This is the call. It is not an invitation to a program, but to a pattern. It's not about signing up for membership, it's about joining a movement. It's a call to adopt the rhythm of Jesus' own life, a life of moment-by-moment connection and obedience to the Father. So here's the first big question to just sit with for a second. Is my walk with God a ritual, or is it a rhythm? And the second question, man, it gets even more practical. Does my schedule simply include him, or does my entire schedule revolve around him? The answer to that really separates the religious from the real. Now, this isn't just about getting new information. It's about transformation. And real transformation always starts with a choice. For anyone who's ready to make that choice, here's just a simple prayer of commitment. Let's just walk through this. It starts with desire, right? Moving from a religious life to a responsive one. Then it's about humility, asking for help, saying, "Teach me to follow in Jesus' footsteps." And finally, it ends with a clear decision. From today forward, I choose to be a disciple. Here is one last, really simple way to frame it. A religious mindset worries about attendance. Did I show up? But a disciple's mindset is all about alignment. Is my heart, is my will, are my actions aligned with God's? And that right there is the ultimate challenge, isn't it? The goal isn't just to go to church. The goal is to be the church, to be the living, breathing hands and feet of Jesus in the world every single day of the week. It all comes down to integrity. This is the hallmark of a true disciple. It's simple. Live what you believe, walk what you preach. Because in the end, the true church isn't a building you go to or a program you join. It isn't religious. It is, and it has always been, a lifestyle. The invitation isn't just to believe it. The invitation is to live it.